Greetings and salutations, everybody. I have another sequel recommendation here. So a few months back, I did a review of The Fly from 1986 versus the original from 1958, showing that there are ways to properly produce a remake. And in this case, I feel like they had similar success for the most part with the sequel, The Fly 2 from 1989, starring Eric Stoltz and Daphne Zuniga, the synopsis for which is as follows. The almost human son of Brundlefly searches for a cure to his mutated genes while being monitored by a nefarious corporation that wishes to continue his father's experiments. So, no Gina Davis in this, not even in the scenes where her character was giving birth. They had somebody else sub in for that. And of course, no Goldblum, considering his demise in the last film. But they do a decent job of giving us a new duo of characters and introducing them very well. Not only that, but this one picks up right after the Goldblum film pretty well, only about 9 months later, though it's never explained why Gina Davis' character didn't or couldn't get the abortion that she'd planned when she found out she was pregnant, at least not that I saw or remember in this film, as we are quickly kind of thrust into this situation explaining she has a kid. It's very weird, kind of gross, kind of just ick. He grows at a strange and accelerated rate. He's extremely smart, really putting his dad to shame as how intelligent he is and how quickly he's developing. He doesn't even sleep. So with that intellect and the extra time every night, he can feel a bit bored and restless. And by the time he is 5 years old, we have him portrayed by Stoltz as a mix of being young and naive with also being super intelligent. We also get a great introduction to this company, which in some ways portrays itself as decent, performing scientific research to try to not only understand this kid, but to pick up where his dad left off with this teleportation technology in these telepods. But we quickly learn, as the synopsis states, that they do have some nefarious ideas, and these ideas that they're pursuing, they're kind of shady. So this kid is sick, a byproduct of the genetics he was born with, a mutation that is kind of carried over from his father since, as a reminder, he was already mixed with that fly DNA when he conceived his son. So that's what this kid kind of has in him. But this corporation sees this as an inevitability, that something's going to happen with these genetics, something that they have to track and prepare for, as they may be able to find a way to use this impending mutation to their advantage somehow, such as maybe developing other pharmaceuticals. So this goes along with their research on the telepods as well, which they haven't been able to make work successfully, causing damage to anything that they teleport, including live animals, and some truly horrific but excellently executed special effects shots. Now with our lead, Martin's vast intelligence, they also see a way to, they can kind of bring him on board this project to try to find a way to make these pods work for them, further advancing their technology portfolio and possible profit, as this would be, like his father Seth said in the previous film, something that will change the world and human life as we know it. So what they did best with this sequel, I feel, is that they didn't retrace steps or just put a skin on the original with an update. They seem to have treated this like an episode 2 in the story of The Fly, or maybe a season 2 at least. What would be the next step after that first film? Well, what if she didn't or couldn't have that abortion and gave birth? What would that give us? And that's where they kind of go with this whole idea. They also made sure to give our lead a supportive counterpart, aside from the initial veil of support from those in the company, in Zuniga's character. As she's somebody who works late, befriends him, they kind of get to know each other as they're kind of cut off from other people in the company late at night. So, though we do get a very quick, fast-paced introduction and exposition of the story and where these characters are, it does lag a little bit right before things really turn bad for these characters and give us our ultimate point of the story. What's happening to Martin, and can he be saved? So all in all, as a quick little recommendation as this is a quick, fun film which is a great extension of the first film by picking up only a few months afterward. It centers around Martin growing up, helping with this telepod technology, having a genetic illness himself that needs to be addressed, and the discovery of and eventually defeat of this evil corporation. And to top it all off, the special effects. So like the original, and for the time, of course, this is all practical effects. And these shots are detailed and gross. Some in an insect kind of way, metamorphosis, slime, oozing. Don't be eating yogurt while watching this kind of effect. But there's also some simple gore thrown in during certain action scenes. Faces being ripped off, heads being pulverized, and very detailed in such a way that I'm surprised that this wasn't some sort of special unrated cut. Now, to be clear, these scenes they stand out simply for how well they were done and how detailed and gross they were. They don't stand out in a way where they distract from what's happening in the story. They come in at the right time, they punctuate that horror in the scene, and they're not lingering any longer than they have to. Though there is one scene involving an elevator where somebody gets taken out, and it kind of lingers longer than he should. It reminded me of the steamroller scene in Austin Powers.
Watch out!
But at any rate, this film seems to have it all. You know, we've got a great continuation of the first film while not repeating too much. We get to know these characters really well. The story is interesting. Though we have a slight slowdown, for the most part, it's very well-paced and very fast-paced. And we have some awesome effects, which pull every scene along, where all this put together definitely makes this one more than worth checking out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this quick little video here for The Fly Part 2 from 1989, which at the time of this video is available seemingly nowhere. I had a really hard time kind of tracking this one down, as maybe the rights are kind of in between IP holders at the time or something, but it's not on any streaming services, not even paid rental, at least not that I've seen here in the US. That may change soon. And the Blu-ray is also hard to track down, is that I think you can only get it currently in a box set that has all of the Fly films, including the old ones. But if you can get your hands on a copy of The Fly 2, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth checking out. Anyways, that's all I've got for this one here. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I will link to my other video on The Fly in just a moment. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next one.